James Sharman is in studio.
You know what? The less time we talk about England, probably the better for James Sharman. We may be doing him this massive favor.
No.
All right, there's two storylines that are there in neon lights. What happened yesterday with Uruguay and England, and what the hell just went down in Recife between Italy and Costa Rica. Costa Rica waving the CONCACAF flag as high as they could, and seconds after being hosed on a non-call in the box concerning a penalty, they score this brilliant header. Brian Ruiz of PSV Eindhoven scores an amazing header, and Costa Rica start the tournament by beating Uruguay and Italy. So Costa Rica's in the round of 16. They are going through, and this officially ends England's hopes.
Oh, done.
It was done anyway. All right, so what's the bigger shock to you right now?
Oh, today's result is one of the big results in the history of the World Cup, I think.
Really?
And now, not so much that they won, but they outplayed Italy. They read Italy before the match. The old manager, Pinto, says, I've studied Italy for 20 years. Today we beat them. That's before the match. Pretty confident, right? This is incredible how they're so good defensively, Costa Rica. They sat back. They were organized. Navas made a couple of great saves. This could have been a different scoreline if not for him, early in the second half in particular. But Italy had nothing going forward. And the issues for the Azzurri in this tournament was, for once, at the back. You know, are they good enough defensively? Because they'll score goals, right?
But with all due respect to their back four, that guy scores that header against 98% of the teams in this tournament. I'm not going to blame Buffon on the goal that just happened.
Now, Chiellini could be held at fault as well.
I don't know.
But a minute prior, they should have won a penalty. It was a stonewall penalty, and the referee missed it. Now, a lot of teams would just say, typical, big team getting the call, hang our heads. Costa Rica didn't, got dusted off, went back the other way.
Correct.
Scored a goal. I thought it was an outstanding performance from a character standpoint, technically, coaching. It was brilliant. Italy have no complaints apart from the scoreline because they were outplayed.
A nation of 4.5 million people from Central America just knocked off Italy and Uruguay in back-to-back games, a country that most people had finishing dead last in their group.
Well, you know, it's funny. I did my research for this World Cup, right? You know, and every team, little notes here and there.
Yep.
Very little for Costa Rica. I thought it'd be an irrelevance.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. Good for them getting there. Nice little story. Well done.
They call them the Ticos. Okay.
They've got the three big teams in that group. They'll be battling for the top two spots. Yeah, right. Bye-bye England and bye-bye one of Italy or Uruguay.
Italy wins their first game against England and make how many changes to the starting 11 today? Buffon obviously has to draw in.
Right? Yeah.
But De Rossi comes in.
Abate came in.
Thiago Motta came in.
Darmian switched sides. Yeah.
Like they're playing the kid out of position. So really there's 5 new guys in new positions on the field. How do you win in this tournament and make 5 changes?
Yeah, well, you would think that the depth they have and the manager they have would be, he's done his homework, and it's Costa Rica. This shouldn't be too difficult, right? They played above themselves in the first match. You know, they were surprised by this team, and you mentioned, flying the flag with CONCACAF. It's been a great tournament for CONCACAF.
I'll tell you what.
Who gets no love. Even though Mexico do a great job every World Cup, the States do a really good job every World Cup.
Mexico do an okay job every World Cup.
Well,
Mexico
they usually get out of the group. No. Yeah, but I mean, so what? Quarterfinals is pretty good for a Mexico team, isn't it?
I don't know. Maybe I'm parsing, but like great is you go Final Four. They're an okay team.
Let me say something about Mexico right now because I've been listening to you guys from the outside looking in on Mexico. Here's what Mexico is. Mexico's a soccer-loving country that does well for CONCACAF. They're expected to be this high. They're expected to be what you expect of them in finals because they have the greatest fans on planet Earth. And I don't even know if you can argue that they don't have
fans,
the greatest fans.
They travel so well.
They travel amazingly. If you host one there, they're putting however many hundreds of thousand. What's the Azteca record number?
I think for the 86 World Cup, they had 120,000 people.
Right. So, I mean, it's and the one thing about this Brazil has been a mess from the start. The one great thing that I've seen throughout is amazing Central, North, South American fans having a blast because they can get to this one.
And it's an old cliche, but that does feed the players, right? There's no doubt about it. It feeds the players out there. And they love these smaller nations, or less sexy nations. When they put those shirts on, it takes them to a new level. It really does. More than other countries, I think. Certainly more than England does. There's something special about putting a Costa Rican shirt on if you're Costa Rican or a Mexican shirt on if you're Mexican.
We're going to talk about England, but I'm just looking at the group. I don't know what you're doing next Tuesday. Italy's taking on Uruguay.
Yeah.
That is it.
Wow.
That is an elimination game. Right now, Italy, if they drew on goal difference, they get through. So Italy don't have to win that game. Suarez and those guys are going balls to the wall. Guaranteed. That is going to be, that's like food for my eyes situations like that.
Teeth to the wall.
Teeth to the wall, yes.
We discussed, the whole European teams not doing well in South America before the tournament, saying, well, yeah, but it's a different era now. It's not quite the same. South America isn't what it was 30 years ago, right? We've been there before. It's not. Well, look at Spain. Look at Italy. So far, England. They struggled, right? Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, England don't like going to South America.
How did Balotelli look?
Yeah, had no service.
So it wasn't all on him.
First half, he could have scored a couple of goals. Had a great chance. Pirlo was pulling the strings in the first 20 minutes or so, and the Costa Ricans had a very, very high line, so they're dropping over the top and had a chance. But he wasn't great, that's for sure. Italy overall were very poor today.
If you would have told me before the tournament one of Uruguay or Italy aren't coming out of that group, I'm like, wow, England really surprised them.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
Nope. Costa Rica gets the spot ahead of one of these teams.
Man. It's great, though, isn't it? If you take away the partisan,
especially when it's not your team.
Yeah.
It really sucks. It's not bad at all when you're not involved whatsoever.
But I'm so emotionally detached from England this year that I can actually look at it from the outside, I think, and think, what a great tournament. This is a fantastic group, which is going down to the wire. And Costa Rica's there, and one of Uruguay and Italy's going through, one's going out. Man, I love this stuff. It's drama. It's just the unexpected. You can't predict anything at this World Cup.
I had at the start of the World Cup, and I'm looking at the odds right now. I was posing some questions to you in our preview about how it was Italy and Uruguay who are actually favored to move through this group over Italy and England. And I would love to see if I could, and I don't know that I can, find who moving through this group, if anyone would have, what the numbers would have been on Costa Rica winning this group.
We can find group odds
to win the World Cup. To win the World Cup, they were 4,000 to 1 to start the World Cup to win it. Now let's not go too far, but I wonder what those odds are now. What are Costa Rica to win it?
That's good value. That's really good value. James Sharman in studio. All right, we're still trying to get over what we just saw here with Costa Rica upsetting Italy 1-0 in Recife, Brazil. The other main headline filtering around, obviously, is the fallout from England and Uruguay yesterday. James, I'll let you decide between Suarez and England just as a group where you want to start with.
Well, let's start with Suarez, shall we? I think that's a great story. Love him or hate him, that was an incredible performance given that he hasn't trained. He had knee surgery 2 weeks ago. Comes on, and most guys, they might play after 2 weeks after, keyhole surgery, but they're not going to perform like that. And it showed what a true world-class player is. He was pretty quiet for most of that game, but 2 great chances and 2 goals. That's all you can ask from the guy.
Has not played since May 11th.
Yeah.
And had to undergo knee surgery basically when he got to Uruguay's camp. And for him to go out there, like it wrote itself. It literally wrote itself. For him to go out there and beat England by himself, what's Uruguay going to look like when he's healthy? Because I'm not convinced he's 100%.
But can you compare Uruguay against Costa Rica to Uruguay against England? It's a different team.
Yeah.
Entirely. And one guy comes in there and makes that much difference. I don't know what it was. I was surprised by the defense. I think Lugano going out injured may have been a good thing because suddenly the kid comes in. He's a lot quicker at centre-back. And England had really no answers. I mean, England actually I didn't think they weren't terrible yesterday.
I got to say, I caught the second half last night. They fought.
Yeah.
I'll say this. And normally English teams in that situation down a goal wilt like no other. But I got to give those guys some credit.
They went for it.
They went for it, and they probably they deserved at least a point out of that, I thought.
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't know. I mean, the big issues for England, again, like Italy, was at the back defensively, and we saw that loud and clear. There's big issues defensively for that team. It's a young back four, quite frankly, but it's not a good enough back four. Going forward, it's great. Future looks really bright, I think. Ross Barkley came on, looked really good. Lallana came on, looked good. I thought Sturridge had a good World Cup so far. Rooney wasn't awful. Rooney could have scored 3 goals. Hit the bar once, a couple of good chances. Sterling, not so great perhaps yesterday, but great in the first game. But at the back, big problems. I'm not surprised. It is kind of what I expected from England. Could have gone either way.
It's funny because I looked down at my notes and I said before this Costa Rica win over Italy, how much shame is there really to losing to Italy and Uruguay in your first 2 games, and by 1 goal each, and showing some fight in each, and I don't know how much. And then you see what Costa Rica does, and you're like, well, maybe there's more shame.
Maybe Roy Hodgson is terrified right now. Yeah. Oh my God, the biggest challenge of the group, Costa Rica. Although they play a pretty Premier League style of football, I suppose, right? So I guess
they're an eclectic group. Like they have a lot of different styles.
10
going
different
on
leagues.
Yeah.
Represented in that 11 today. 10 different leagues.
That's crazy. And to put them all together in a nation of 4.5 million and come up with 2 victories against 2 powerhouse nations.
Jorge Luis Pinto, right? He's been a coach for 30 years. He's had 19 jobs in 30 years.
Jobs.
Yeah.
Wow.
19 jobs.
No.
He's got 19. Sorry, Tim, go on.
The only other thing that I wanted to get from last night, if you guys are okay with it, is go ahead.
I just want to dissect why England's not winning. Because
Simple
I think
reason.
I think I have a theory.
They're not very good.
No, but that's
They're overrated.
depth.
Yeah, well, depth for sure.
Let's
Especially in
go
defense.
back. Let's go France 98, Korea, Japan 2002. You looked at Chelsea and Manchester United and Liverpool, Arsenal, whatever. That was still a moment in time in English soccer history where English players were still playing prevalent roles in the biggest spots. We are sitting here in 2014, and the majority of City, United, Chelsea, not really Liverpool because some guys are coming through there, Arsenal. How many frontline English
very few.
players play high-level soccer in that league?
I think we can all blame the damn foreigners.
Well, the clubs are to blame too. No, but here's the problem. There's no B team system in England.
Well,
And
they're trying to push that through, right? The FA is, and the clubs are saying
well,
no chance.
No, but they have to.
Yeah.
James, they have to put this through. Kids in every other country are allowed to play against second division pros.
Yeah.
And learn
but
and get
the
better.
culture, the system in England won't allow it. I'm with you. It makes complete sense.
You're
what
getting
saying,
killed on depth.
The
These
football
guys are
league,
good, but
the
you have
football
no
league
depth.
won't allow it though, and the clubs won't allow it. And the clubs have the power there. They have all the power.
Phil Jagielka shouldn't see this tournament. The guys have been in a Champions League game. He's starting against Italy. He's starting against Uruguay. That is a depth issue.
Yeah, I think they're addressing the way the kids are coached, much like in Canada. They're taking it way back to the grassroots, and they're going to build from there because clubs would love to field English players over foreign players. They'd love to, but the bottom line is I don't think
they care that much. They want to get in the Champions League and make money.
The top clubs do, yeah, for sure. But the smaller clubs would love to get British players.
But British players have been lapped with those clubs.
Yeah.
That's where they're getting killed. 96, they get a semifinal at the European Championships.
Here's the flip side though to that is you bring in the European players or the foreign players to the Premier League or League One, wherever it's going to be, and because they're better, they will rise the standard of those leagues and in turn help the domestic players. That's the other argument there, right? And there's no doubt about it that
Tim, you want to chime in?
The Premier League's a better league today because of the foreign players. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, but it's killing the program.
It might be, but we're not. But I don't think England's that far off though.
They're Costa Rica looks way better than England. That's a problem. To me, that's a problem.
Listen, you didn't know that Costa Rica was going to be better than England.
Oh, I didn't know, but now I know.
But
now I know.
We're going to find out this week, aren't we?
They got 10. They got players in 10 leagues. Is that the stat?
10 leagues. Yeah.
Those guys are playing elite level football in various leagues all the time.
There's something about the pressure, though. England players choking and putting that shirt on the big stage and not getting the job done. You know, like I mentioned before, a lot of clubs, a lot of teams, they'll become a foot taller putting on a Brazilian shirt or a Costa Rican shirt. English players, for some reason, get a foot shorter. It seems, you know, whether it's a pressure, whether it's the media, I don't know what it is, but there's definite mental weakness there.
And it's because I think it's
that way for a long time.
I just think they're not playing enough at high.
It's certainly part
levels.
of it. It's certainly part of it. But that okay. But
don't make me read where the Costa Ricans play.
Oh,
because it's not high level soccer.
It's not the Premier League, but they're not sitting on benches for half the year either.
But okay, but moving forward, okay, Rooney's at a top club, right, playing Champions League. Steven Gerrard at a top club now, playing Champions League. Lallana's moving to one. Ross Barkley will be at one in no time soon. Very, very soon. Sterling's at Liverpool now. They are, I think, there's this current group of players coming through will be playing that standard, I think. But I'm with you, that has been the issue, there's no doubt. But we are enjoying a bit of talent coming through the system. But defensively is the issue. It's not going forward in the midfield right now, finally. It's very much at the back. Phil Jagielka and Gary Cahill. Cahill plays Champions League, though, every single week.
Cahill
Chelsea,
does.
But didn't play very well.
Leighton Baines does it.
No.
Glenn Johnson hasn't.
Well, he will be, though.
He will be, but he hasn't.
But he's not a world-class right back.
I think the talent's there. I'm not disparaging talent. There's talent there. You got to let them stretch their legs here at levels that will give you a shot against teams like that.
But make no doubt that this is the argument going on right now in England. And has been for about 20 years, right?
Tim, poke a hole in whatever I said. Like, do you agree or disagree? What do you think?
I think that it's you're going to fight it's the same thing that goes on in Canada. There are more kids. There are a lot of kids playing soccer in England. They have all the facilities. They should be better. Why aren't they?
But before the World Cup,
your explanation is just as good as the summit to make sure that the kids are being taught well.
Before the World Cup, what was the kind of the MO in England was? Well, they're really aiming towards 2016, 2018. Yeah. This tournament, it's a bit of a road bump. It's a bit early for them. Lo and behold, it's too early for them.
Like the States.
Well, let me ask you a question, Sid.
Like Russia.
The only one thing I'll say is if these kids coming up were good enough and weren't getting the opportunity in the Premier League, you might have a point. But if they weren't getting the opportunity, there'd be other teams lined up to grab them in France, in the Netherlands, and they'd be playing other spots.
I hear you, but the reputation of English players abroad right now is piss.
Yeah, it's a great point you make. Though,
they don't do it.
But if they were good enough,
they don't do it.
But I think they are good enough, and
some
I think
of them are. They choose not to.
You're
right.
They want to stay home.
They want to sit on a bench at Chelsea.
They want to sit on a bench and go to the frat party on the weekend with Joe Hart.
Right. Yeah.
That's what they want to do.
Scott Sinclair was the big name coming through 3 or 4 years ago. Okay, got a job at Chelsea, sat on the bench for 3 years. Where's he now? Not even in the squad because he went for the paycheck more than the experience. And you're right. I would love to see English players going to Holland, to Ajax, to PSV and learning from there. I'd love that, but they don't travel well for some reason. They're just cuddled at home. They get the big paychecks, sitting on the bench doing nothing. Drives me crazy, but I'd love to see European teams scout these kids and bring them over. But perhaps in Holland, for example, why would they? They've got their own great young talent.
See, James, I think they're getting scouted, and I think they just stay home.
Well, no, yeah, but it goes both ways, right?
Then you're talking about the talent's not good enough to get out there.
No, I'm saying listen, some of these kids have talent to play at Betis. Some of these kids have talent to play at Genoa or Fiorentina. Some of these kids have talent to go to Lille. Joe Cole went to Lille.
Okay, quit naming teams. We get it.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm making a point that these guys are very comfortable on a bench at Chelsea than playing for Valencia 35 games because that's what English players over the last 25 years have done. The only time is Italia 90 when Italy threw more money at these guys than they know what to do with, and all of them stay behind.
But it is money because that's the reason. Most of these kids will get more money sitting on a bench than playing 35 games at Valencia.
There is a mentality of staying. It's tough to leave home. I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
But if you want to be great, you got to get the hell out of England and play some games. Because Man City has foreign ownership coming in. They don't give a damn about England's progression. They don't give a damn about the kids. They'll buy a few here and there.
Is there any point where Russian interests turn to all these owners who, most notably at Chelsea and said, listen, you can't just pump money into England. Stay home.
Well, they are doing that too, though, right?
And England's doing that now?
I mean, Abramovich pretty much bankrolled the Russian national team.
Right.
And Zenit have a lot of money through oil. They throw money at players. Angie did for a while, and then the money disappeared.
But they forced Abramovich to do it to the national program. Can someone force England, or could there be political pressure from the fans to say, listen, let's start making sure that we're taking care of our own?
Is part of the problem also not what this...
But I think the money is there, though, and they're aware of it. The money is there.
But money's this league is worth how much? Like, this league is a
the
cash
Premier League
cow.
is huge.
So where does the progression of the English youth player fall among the bottom line? Like, this ship has sailed money-wise. Like, no one gives a damn.
Well, I think part of the reason is it's a lot cheaper, though, to go...
Owners, FA, TV, everybody.
It's much cheaper for a club, say Arsenal, to go to Portugal and find some 15-year-old kid there and bring him over than to actually kind of finance and bankroll an English kid.
And there's a lot of
cheaper,
kids...
sad as it is.
No, but it's true. And there's a lot of kids from all types of countries who are programmed. Like, you ask a kid, you watch the progression of Cristiano Ronaldo and what he did, they'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
They'll leave home tomorrow if they get a shot in England or Spain or Italy. That's what they're also competing against. English players trying to get jobs at these clubs when there's 30 17-year-olds ready to do the same thing, and 2 of them are going to pan out.
The kid on the streets of, some African country or Portugal playing in bare feet has a lot more hunger as well than the kid playing in England with his buddies, or Canada with his buddies, right? And we are kind of coddled. We do coddle our kids far more than other countries, right? And that hunger makes a big difference, I think, in their determination and their discipline.
Yeah, and they're willing to go out and go to Zenit, go to Lille, go to Genoa.
We just got a tweet. Paul Ince was a longtime great.
Teams.
Very good. Tim, stop rhyming off teams. Stop rhyming off teams and act like you know what you're talking about. It's an old tactic. Paul Ince is how long did Paul? Don't start with the Scottish. Paul Ince played for how long for Inter Milan after Italian 90? Paul Ince?
I'm not sure how many years, but
he was
yeah,
our-
he was a star. And Inter
We just
Milan,
got
yeah.
a tweet from Gabe at Tim and Citizen who says Paul Ince's son Tom was approached by Inter Milan, who has a strong tie with his dad, to go to QPR.
Mhm.
That's you turn down Internazionale Milano for QPR.
Yeah, but he might
What
get.
the
He
hell
might
is
get.
going
In
on?
fairness, he'll probably get more playing time at QPR than Inter Milan right now.
Roll the dice. Do you not have faith? See, this is what drives me insane. Do you have faith in yourself or not? Are you a pro or not? Can you beat out that guy for a spot or not?
Yeah,
Then
but
go
you,
try it.
but you were just saying that these kids are taking a job at Chelsea's bench rather than playing for Genoa.
Well,
for
here's the
Zenit,
thing.
for-
Okay, let's
right?
you go to Inter Milan and don't play. You know what? They got a B team. They have reserve team.
There's reserve
You're
teams
playing regardless
in
of
the
starting
Prem.
11 or not. And this is what I'm talking about. This is the mentality and why Raheem Sterling at 19 has to do everything. Because there's no one else out there to help him out who's been through a system longer than 15 years.
The playing is an important part. I will say this: our Tim and citizens like to gamble because I got immediate answers on Costa
They're
Rica.
degenerates, aren't
That's
they?
it.
Jones?
That's a
No.
window into the soul of the
Kidding me.
listeners of their show.
Costa Rica has gone down. What were they to start the tournament? I know you mentioned it.
4,000 to 1.
They are now down to plus 5,000 to win the cup. So that's 50 to 1 because that's on a
50 to
$100 bet.
Okay.
And now Jim wrote in and said 4% of bettors took Costa Rica to win Group D prior to the tournament. That was plus 4,150. So that's around 42 to 1 to win the
Wow.
to win the group.
One
That's not
year,
bad.
like I'd love to take $100, like $800, 100 on each group. The craziest bet you can make.
Because
Just to
usually
get out of
there's
the
one.
group.
Yeah.
There's the one.
Yeah.
Costa Rica's the one.
Yeah.
It happens.
Is Costa Rica, we'll finish this or come close to finishing it by saying, is Costa Rica the only one? Because now I look and I see Honduras and Ecuador going. The France and Switzerland game is a real interesting one. That might be a European team that might get through. I look through the standings and I'm not sure that I see another one like Costa Rica.
That would be the one. Even if Nigeria pulls an upset and beat, Bosnia or Argentina, that's not as big an upset as Costa Rica.
I
No
know
chance.
that Sid was really high on the Japan-Greece game last night.
I had, to,
Beauty, eh? Wow.
I had to take a shower when that thing was over.
Yeah.
I felt dirty. And by the way, Greek supporters on Twitter, I will rip Greece again. I will do it very soon. You ain't scaring me.
They didn't
Don't,
care, man.
don't bully me online. I want to say what I want about Greece.
The Greeks are so unapologetic, and I love that about them. They don't care. We're going to just destroy all that's good about football and get results. And good for them, and I say, good for them. Great point
I
last
haven't,
night.
I haven't seen
Your heritage gets into the way of
It
your
does. It does.
because Greece beat Portugal
There's a history.
twice in Portugal. The Greeks feel like you as a Portuguese guy, not you as an analyst, but you as a Portuguese guy can't say anything about Greece.
There is
It's a
a
valid
history.
point.
That's exactly what it is. Now, you know me how long. Is that going to stop me?
no,
Hell no.
no,
So let me tell you something, Georgios.
no, but
I am going. If I see another
But you're
game
not-
like
hold
that
on.
in my life, I'm going to rip the hell out of it. If you don't like it, go follow someone at 1050.
but hold on a second. You will rip Portugal just as much as you're ripping Greece. Like you tore
Horns for Tim. Great point.
when you're ripping Greece, you're not ripping them as a Portuguese guy. You're ripping them as a soccer fan.
I'm ripping them as a guy who lost the last 2 hours of my life on that eyesore of a thing I saw yesterday.
They did lose a man early.
Well, then he has to make smarter tackles then. 2 yellows in the first half. Come on, catch
Well,
let's get with it.
It's not like he wears the captain's armband for the
See,
team.
that's exactly what it is.
Wait
He
a
wore the
second.
captain's
He
armband
does
for
wear
that.
the captain's
Or
armband.
the captain's
for that.
armband for the in the face. But Greece are still in it. That's a point for them. Japan are just an abomination. I
They
don't know
were
what the
awful,
hell
weren't
they're
they?
doing there.
Just awful.
What the hell they're doing there?
So stop ripping CONCACAF and start ripping Asia.
Yeah, basically.
Korea
Sure, I'm
gets
down
in
with
all
that.
the time.
Australia out. Japan almost out. Korea still
Yeah.
have another shot. Korea
Korea's
aren't done yet.
yeah, I
Iran
think
aren't
they're
done
going.
yet.
Iran get through
Tim,
Asia.
Iran's not done yet. There's,
Yeah, but they have a different group. Let's be
I
honest
think they're
here.
going to beat Argentina. I think Iran are going to beat Argentina.
Put the money on it now.
I just
That
saw
would
the
be
number.
unbelievable. I'm
Yeah, it
gonna.
would be.
This weekend.
Oh,
I am.
lost the
I am
number.
rooting harder for Iran than I've ever rooted in my life.
I think they're plus 1,800 to win the
We
game
should, like, find-
against Argentina.
we should find a degenerate in this building. It won't be hard.
Yeah, just
and put some
show
money
your
on
eyes
that.
and point. There's one.
The three of us put together $100, give it to him, say, listen, just for the story, give us Iran to win.
I'll
this
sign
weekend.
up. I'll sign up.
I'm serious.
We'll do it.
We're throwing $30.
You know what we should do? Every time he comes on, we come up with a new one.
Yeah.
And we'll do it.
Done.
All right? I'll sign it up.
Love it.
All right.
Yeah. We'll forget, won't we?
Yes, we will.
What's all right? So we got we will. Switzerland, France in 30 minutes. What are France? I have no idea what France had a layup against Honduras.
This guy has got some faith in France.
I like France a lot. Yeah,
Why?
I thought they were very good. I think
Good at what?
Well,
they lost
because,
a man. Palacios was an idiot. He got sent
yeah,
off.
well, no, France, not Honduras.
No, but I mean, like, what? Like, who
Yeah.
did they play? Like, they haven't shown.
Well,
like, any of
Benzema,
them
I
have.
thought Benzema was very good, right? Couple of goals, could have got a hat
He has
trick.
been good all
and
year, I'll
He's
give you
warmed up, right? And if he's confident, he can be a game breaker, of course. I thought they showed great pace. I think Deschamps got his team playing together.
Johnny Staples over here. He's getting his presentation ready for the meeting.
I just look at the group they're in, right? It's not a great group. They can get out of that group.
Yeah, they can. But
Right.
I'm not sold on France right now.
And then he got perhaps a game against Bosnia in the second round.
Is
That's
your
winnable.
PowerPoint ready, Tim, for the next segment? Sorry, James.
Go ahead, James.
James regrets it.
I say nothing of any kind of relevance, so don't worry.
No. I just don't like France. You like France.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. There you go.
There's some in-depth analysis for you.
Hey, Zinedine Zidane's not walking through that door. Thierry Henry's not
Any
walking.
team that,
Frank
drops,
LaBeouf isn't walking through that
someone
door.
as unlikable as Samir Nasri, I like. Good for you.
That's an excellent point.
Awful human being.
That's a fantastic point.
Ribery's out there, some adversity, young team, the Griezmanns of the world trying to make a name for themselves. I love Paul Pogba, although he was pretty poor in that game.
I like
Got
Pogba.
subbed off and could have been sent off actually. But
I just don't like. I
They're
don't like.
beating the snot out of him.
That's the
Yeah.
thing.
That might be a blueprint for Pogba through the rest of this tournament. Like that was
try and get to him, yeah. Although
Yeah.
it cost though Palacios his place in the field though.
Yeah, it did.
Right, so he got sent off.
I'll tell you
for
what,
it,
though, Switzerland are not as dumb as the Honduran team. Like they're defensively, they are pretty sharp, and they're a bit better as we saw in the first game against Ecuador.
Yeah, I mean, there was a pretty poor game until the
Yeah.
last 46 seconds.
Exactly.
Right? It was incredible.
They can counter better than they have. Okay, we got to go.
I just can't believe that former Raptors guard Milt Palacios is able to play soccer now. Like that's
Two-sport athlete.
Yeah.
Like that, yeah.
That's
Two-sport
impressive,
athletes.
Yeah.
Bo
Suck on
Jackson,
that, Bo Jackson.
circa 2014.
Take that.
Iran is plus 1,800 to win
So that's our team there, is it?
against Argentina. Now, a draw is plus 900. Sydney,
Ooh. No chance.
I'll take it. What the hell? Costa Rica just beat Italy.
Yeah, you're right.
I'll take it.
I mean, it's half the price for a draw. You're still making money, kids.
I'm in.
My bracket has just been like, there's my bracket right there.
All right.
Destroyed.
A lot
Gone.
of people are
Bye.
with you.
Love you, James. James
All
Sharman.
right, thanks, boys.
Catch him on Connected. He is right now the king of all things Sportsnet. You can't miss the guy. He's everywhere.
I'm whoring myself.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
By the way, final day at the Score Building.
Yeah, today.
Today, that's right.
Everyone's kind of moving up here to One Mount Pleasant,
Those
Jarvis,
were the
and
days.
Should we pour
Such
a little
fun
out for the Score?
the three of us
building?
grew up at 370 King in downtown Toronto. This is for the underground.
More than
This is for the overground.
this is for 370.
It's for that Saturday night when the Polaroids were taken.
For the snowball.
This, yeah, long story.
For Frigis sign off.
The post Milano parties.
Postman Auto Party. Yep.
There you
This
go.
one's for emails that should never been sent.
Yeah.
Boom! Hey, add all at the Score. Oops.
Don't tell the boyfriend.
Oh. Shout out to 370 King, where we grew up and many crimes happened that will never be reported. James Sharman, thank you.
Cheers.